suicidal, there is a lot that you can do to help and save a life. However, for persons who are not in the grips of suicidal depression and despair, it's a bit difficult to understand what actually drives many individuals to take their own lives. A suicidal person may feel as if there is no help available and they're in so much pain that there aren't any other options. So here are a few warning signs to look out for. A person frequently talking about suicide, self-loathing or self-hatred, suddenly getting their affairs in order, saying goodbye to loved ones, withdrawing from others, and self-destructive behavior. Talking to a friend or family member about their suicidal thoughts and feelings can be extremely difficult for anyone. If you're unsure whether or not someone is suicidal, the best way to find out is to simply ask. Giving a suicidal person the opportunity to express their feelings can provide relief from loneliness, pent-up negative feelings, and perhaps prevent an attempted suicide. You can start the conversation with statements like, "I've been feeling concerned about you lately. I've noticed some differences in you and wondered how you're doing today." If they confide in you and they are suicidal, respond quickly by telling them you care and get them the help that is needed. Help is always available at the Crisis Center, the Department of Social Services, BASH, Sandlands Rehabilitation Center, and the National Hotline for 24-Hour Crisis. Find someone that you can trust to talk to about your feelings and get the support and help that is needed. I am Inspector Mikal Pinder, reassuring you that your mental health matters. You are not alone. Get the help that is needed today.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Drop. We want to have a good time tonight, y'all.
I was hanging out by Winkies off the Michael Road.
We want to have some good fun, some good vibes, some good food, some good drinks, some good music. You can't forget the music. We can have some good girls, whether it be light skin, dark skin, brown skin.
None of that.
The Drop, this Thursday at 9 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the nation's chief unveiling a bold plan to tackle the wave of crime in the country, which includes amending the Bill Act. Also, a 64-year-old man is Grand Bahama's latest gunshot victim. 2 men arrested in connection, and police are on the hunt for another. And Gold Rock Beach earning recognition among the 25 best beaches in the Caribbean. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, in a significant response to the escalating crime rates in the Bahamas, the nation's chief has unveiled a comprehensive strategy in the House of Assembly aimed at creating safer communities. This pivotal government initiative, which includes the amendment of the Bill Act, addresses various aspects of crime and its root causes. Our Raven Davis has the details.
Amidst a concerning surge of crime, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis rising in the House of Assembly this morning as he tabled Crackdown 2024, Building Safer Communities. It's a robust government strategy, meticulously addressing the looming cloud of violence enveloping the nation, comprising 5 pillars including prevention, policing, prosecution, punishment, and rehabilitation. The initiative tackles the multifaceted roots of crime across social, economic, and cultural landscapes.
In line with our commitment to strengthen the rule of law and to ensure justice, today I'm also announcing a significant amendment to the Bail Act. The bail is a constitutional right, but not a right to be abused. Our amendment will ensure that bail is automatically revoked for those accused persons who commit offenses while on bail. This includes those found to be in violation of the terms of their bail, an offense under the amendment. This measure sends a clear message. Our legal system will no longer tolerate those who flout its rules and endanger our communities.
Giving further insight into crime prevention tools exactly 10 days after his national address on crime, the Prime Minister highlights that the strategy involves a bold expansion of school policing and the dismantling of gang violence.
To deter crime in high-risk areas, we are significantly increasing police presence through expanded saturation patrols. In our technological front, we are introducing advanced facial recognition CCTV systems. These state-of-the-art surveillance tools will greatly enhance our crime detection and prevention capabilities.
Noting that crime transcends national borders, he says efforts are underway to strengthen regional cooperation in the ongoing fight against drug trafficking and the illicit firearms trade.
By working closely with our neighboring countries, we aim to tackle these cross-border issues more effectively. Community policing is another crucial aspect of our strategy.
Further, government is actively evaluating the existing legal framework to ensure that penalties are sufficiently stringent as it relates to gang involvement and illegal firearm possession.
By enhancing our strategy against crime, we are building upon a series of robust measures already in place. These include significant recruitment efforts to bolster our police force, the implementation of targeted saturation patrols, and the acquisition of advanced resources to aid our law enforcement officers. Furthermore, we have established specialized units, notably the anti-gang and gun unit and the domestic violence unit.
Now, in a call to action, the nation's chief underscoring that transformative change on the crime front necessitates the active participation of all citizens for a safer Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Meantime, police officials on the island of Grand Bahama investigating the shooting of a 64-year-old man in Freeport on Tuesday night. Our Jay Philippe was on the scene moments after the incident happened and filed this report.
It was shortly after 7 p.m. that our ZNS News team was informed that a male had been shot on Oleander Street. Our ZNS News team immediately traveled to the scene where it was said that a 64-year-old male had been shot.
We received reports of a shooting incident at a residence here on Oleander Street. Upon the officer's arrival, they met a male suffering from a gunshot wound to the left shoulder area. In his 60s year range.
Police cars lined the streets along with bystanders as officials investigated the shooting incident on Oleander Street that left a 64-year-old man hospitalized. According to Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Stephen Roll, the victim was coherent and was able to speak with officers prior to being transported by emergency medical services.
What he's saying is that while at his residence, he was approached by another male known to him. They got involved in an altercation, and that male produced a firearm and discharged several shots in his direction.
The latest incident leaving more questions than answers, as police say they have yet to ascertain the motive behind the shooting.
The detectives were on the scene, and I can say that 2 adult males were arrested and are now assisting with this investigation.
Now, this is the second reported shooting incident on Grand Bahama, with the first taking place just last week Friday at a business establishment on Queens Highway. While the start of the year has been fairly quiet in regards to crime on Grand Bahama, police say they will continue to have an active presence in the community.
This incident is in its early stage of investigation, and I don't want to preempt the investigation at this time. It's just the mere fact that he was shot and is being treated for his injuries others by present.
The two men arrested last night are said to still be in custody assisting police with this investigation, and now police say the search is on for a third suspect. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Now, once again, quick action of police officials resulted in the arrest of two men following the shooting of that 64-year-old man. But tonight, officers of the Criminal Investigations Department are searching for Charles Tony Fitzgerald, alias CT of number 142 Limewood Lane, in connection with attempted murder for this latest incident. Police say the Grand Bahama resident stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighs 160 pounds, dark brown complexion, average build with black plaited hair. Anyone spotting him, please approach with extreme caution as he is considered to be armed and dangerous. Please dial 911 at the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1 Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 through 9, or the Family Island 242-300-8476. Also from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama seized a large quantity of suspected marijuana with an estimated street value of $19,000 discovered in the Garden Villas area. Reports indicate that the find involved a collaborative operation between the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Central Intelligence Bureau that led to the confiscation of 19 pounds of suspected marijuana. Initial reports indicate that on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024, around 2:30 p.m., acting on intelligence while officers were in the area of a track road situated in the Garden Villas area, encountered three men who were observed exiting the bushes. Once they spotted the officers, the men fled into the bushes. After the brief pursuit, they were able to evade the officers. Meanwhile, the officers returned to the location and discovered a container with multiple large plastic wraps containing suspected marijuana, which they subsequently confiscated. Police are conducting further inquiries into this matter to identify and apprehend the trio who escaped. Well, in a neighborhood already grappling with the recent security concerns, an attempted break-in was captured on camera as a tenant managed to scare away the intruders. The landlord, deeply troubled by the security issues in the vicinity, is now appealing to the community for assistance in identifying and locating the two individuals seen in the footage. More details are in this report.
I call the police right now. I want to call the police. I want to call the police right now. I see you on my camera.
A daylight break-in attempt was thwarted by a vigilant tenant residing in Seven Hills, Abaco. The tenant, who was at home during the incident, promptly informed the intruders that their actions were being recorded on camera. The culprits in the footage, dressed in a red hoodie and the other in a gray hoodie, both wearing masks to conceal their identities.
My tenant, she called me and she was like, someone just tried to break in the unit. And I was like, what do you mean someone is trying to break into the unit? And she's like, yeah, I got them on the ring cam. And she just put the ring cam in recently because she just moved in, I think, about 3 weeks ago.
According to the landlord, Kevin Pritchard, the tenant's swift action coupled with the surveillance technology forced the intruders to flee the scene on foot.
Ring cam went off, the notification went off, and she told them that she's going to call the police. Because, you know, you can do that two-way speaker thing. And they ran off. I think they're just guys who don't want to work. Guys that just hang on the blocks, smoke weed. And they're just looking for whatever they could find.
Wow.
You know, if they could find cash, if they could find a laptop, if they could find a cell phone. You know, that's my thoughts.
Expressing deep concern for the safety of the new tenants and the overall security of the neighborhood, Pritchard emphasized the gravity of the situation, particularly since it occurred in the same area where a shooting transpired just days ago.
It's actually just a couple hundred feet away from that shooting that took place.
The landlord is now urging the community to remain vigilant and work together to address the escalating security challenges.
Well, of course, it's a concern because one of the other tenants called me, and I have two other tenants on the same property, and none of them are from here, you know? So, and they basically, you know, live alone. So it's one of them called me upset this morning, you know? So it is a concern for me. You know, it could be bad for business.
Well, as the dispute continues between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, ZNS News was the first to break the story that the government is seeking compensation for the works rendered in the city of Freeport over a course of time. But just how much money is the government seeking to acquire from the Port Authority through arbitration? Well, we have the details in this report, and it is believed to be well into the millions.
The government is saying, on the basis of the contract, that certain monies that ought to have been paid to the government was not paid.
In the unfolding dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, details emerged as the PLP chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, initially revealed the government's pursuit of compensation from the GBPA through arbitration. Although the exact figure remains undisclosed, Immigration Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, revealed that the government is seeking millions of dollars in this complex legal battle.
The issue about how much could only be determined in three ways. Either by agreement, and no agreement has been reached, either by the court, and the contract itself says that if there is a dispute, there should be an application for arbitration, and that is what the government has done. Acted within the contract.
As the ongoing dispute with the Grand Bahama Port Authority continues, Minister Sayers says the government's commitment to pursuing compensation through arbitration essentially addresses financial matters crucial to the nation's welfare.
It affects education, it affects the upkeep of the public infrastructure, it pays the salaries of the public officers. So this is a very important public matter. The third thing is that the Grand Bahama Port Authority is not just a private company. By virtue of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, it also exercises public functions.
He clarified that the ongoing arbitration is essentially a dispute concerning a debt owed to the government of the Bahamas.
Here, we're talking also about the public interest. And it is the government that has the obligation to protect the public interest.
Now, we have reached out to the Grand Bahama Port Authority on this matter. However, we have not received a response up to news time. In other news, Grand Bahama's beloved Gold Rock Beach is named among the 25 best beaches in the Caribbean to visit in 2024 by the Caribbean Journal. The Caribbean Journal ranking underscores the timeless beauty and esteem for one of the island's most popular natural jewels, protected within the historic Lucayan National Park, managed by the Bahamas National Trust. A proven fan favorite among visitors, Gold Rock Beach is world famous as the site of many commercial and movie scenes filmed against its picturesque backdrop, approximately 25 miles from the city of Freeport. This secluded and serene beach boasts a healthy offshore coral reef system and is a perfect location for swimming, snorkeling, and picnics. This latest honor bestowed by Caribbean Journal further cements Gold Rock Beach's reputation as one of the region's best and most beautiful natural attractions. In 2018, it was voted best beach in the Caribbean by readers of USA Today, and in 2023, the Lucayan National Park itself ranked 7th among USA Today's top 10 attractions in the Caribbean, no doubt in part due to Gold Rock Beach's allure. In total, the Bahamas claimed 6 out of 25 of Caribbean Journal's best beaches to visit in 2024. Gold Rock Beach suffered major erosion to its shoreline in 2019 after Hurricane Dorian. Since then, the BNT has led several efforts to restore this iconic attraction to its former glory and help protect it against future storms. Well, when we come back, we have the details on the upcoming Junior Junkanoo Parade. That, story, sports, and more in the Bahamas tonight when we return.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Love takes time, and the Portobello's restaurant at the Grand Lucayan is doing it twice, with Sunday brunch February 11th and Valentine's dinner on February 14th. Dinner tickets are on sale at the Lighthouse Point lobby, and romance is truly in the air at the Portobello's restaurant.
New Birth Hearing Services is testing in Grand Bahama. On January 26, hearing tests will be held in Freeport. Contact 328-8644 or 801-4486 today.
Mo Divas in the Britannia Mini Mall and Mo Hustle at the Tropical Commercial Center is having a spectacular sale. Get 25% off now through January 31st on clothing, shoes, hats, handbags, and underwear. Visit the store today.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank Hagan from the School of Prophetic Ministry with a special invitation for you to attend the gathering.
It will be an apostolic prophetic release conference like none other. The gathering, January 24th to the 26th at 7:30 p.m. at the School of Prophetic Ministry, featuring Prophet Eric Von Copeland from San Antonio, Texas, Apostle Rick Bethel from Belgrade, Florida, Apostle Christopher Russell from the Christian Tabernacle Church, Nassau, Bahamas, and the Christian Tabernacle Church, Praise Team. The gathering, January 24th to the 26th. Don't you miss it.
The ZNS Network and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture presents the Anthony Huck Williams 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade. Live from Pioneers Way on January 27th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. We're just days away from a number of high schools taking the Boulevard by storm. The Anthony Huck Williams Junior Junkanoo Parade is set for this Saturday, January 27th, and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture are in the final preparations. Tickets are on sale, and they urge the public to get them early. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
The tickets are on sale right here at the C.A. Smith Building. It's only $10, first come, first serve.
It promises to be a show most won't want to miss. This according to Cultural Affairs Officer in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Monique Leary. The Anthony Huck Williams Junior Junkanoo Parade takes center stage this Saturday, and first out of the gate will be the preschool division, followed by the primary school, all age, junior, community, and senior divisions.
Be in the stands for 5 o'clock because they will be entering the parade route at 5, and we don't want to miss our little darlings. And I want to thank the principals, the coordinators, and all of the stakeholders, and especially the parents who allow their children to be a part of the Junior Junkanoo program.
Given his tireless contributions to bolstering the Junior Junkanoo program on the island, Leary says there is no one better to name the parade after than the late Junkanoo legend.
Mr. William has always been a person who have supported the Junior Junkanoo program from its inception, and he has helped just about every school from Swedenski all the way to West End.
The schools are certainly ready to hit the road. The Freeport Primary Conquerors have their eyes set on retaining their primary school crown.
The students are excited. They know they're champions, and so they're ready for the event on Saturday evening.
The Junkanoo Wildcats are in celebration mode as an institution, while the Amarok Blue Jays are making their return to competition, which they're eager about. There's also the debut of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Training Institute.
We are coming out with our school colors because we are celebrating school spirit. We will have departments, everything.
Despite some of the challenges we're faced with, we're going to participate. They have been teaching themselves. They have been very excited. We come in to show Freeport what we are doing in the West.
We are going as a fun group, but it looks like competition is something that we're going to look forward to next year.
There's also the Tabernacle Falcons, who aim to make a lot of noise in the all-age category. And apparently, they are into road work.
The Tabernacle Baptist Falcons will be in full effect, in living color, displaying melodious selections, and we will take the road up for no other school to come behind us.
The preschool division will circle around and perform for 1 lap, while the remaining divisions will perform for 2. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, 19 schools are set to participate in this year's Junior Junkanoo Parade, and making their return once again on Pioneers Way is the Beacon School, a crowd pleaser. Tonight we go inside their shacks or school to see how they are preparing for the big day.
They ready. And if you ask them, they tell you they're ready to put blows in their clothes. The Beacon School is a unique place where we cater to students with special needs or students with learning disabilities. We have about 60 participants this year. We're going out in full costume, so the students are very excited about that. Our theme is the allure of nature, where we're focusing on the vibrant, the colors, and the beautiful everything. So we come in full force this year. Practice, at first when we came back to school, it was a bit challenging because where we can't keep them back after school, so we have to find time within the school hours to practice with them. So we have to break up in smaller groups. And we're just now transitioning to 1 hour practice coming into the end of the school day. So it's going well. They become very excited because sometimes I'm so tired. They're by my class. Oh, Miss Nesbitt, you ready to practice? Some of our students participated in the New Year's Junkanoo parade with the various groups. I think some was with Swingers, we had Showtime, and some was with the Rockers. So yeah, they're excited and ready.
It's certainly going to be exciting to watch. Well, junior national team volleyball tryouts took place on the weekend at the gym. Here's Jay Philippe with a check on sports.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sport. It is a big weekend for boxers, but let's begin with volleyball. Here's Shane Stubbs.
It's a big travel year for the Bahamas Volleyball Federation, with a number of tournaments set to feature under 15, under 19, and under 23 teams. They've hit the ground running, scouting talent here in Grand Bahama. And Bahamas Volleyball Federation President Joe Smith says he likes what he sees in Grand Bahama.
I think the first tournament may be like May or June. So we have a small window that we are working with. There's male and female, so you're looking at about 6 teams traveling.
He adds the search won't stop here in the second city.
We want to take this into Abaco, Eleuthera, wherever we have to go.
The feeling is mutual for UB volleyball coach Raymond Wilson, who says history has proven Grand Bahama's talent pool is large and wide. And it's also about getting the athletes to see the opportunities volleyball can give them, academically and competitively.
Grand Bahama, in most cases, is on the same par or the same level of athleticism with New Providence. There's always been a good volleyball family here in Grand Bahama. So we try to change the culture where they know that we're coming down. There's opportunities in New Providence for the University of the Bahamas, and there are opportunities for them to make the national team and represent their country.
Presenting as Total Sports, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Switching gears now in sports, the all-out boxing group will host the National Pride Boxing Championships this Thursday and Friday at the Jack Hayward High School grounds. In attendance and being honored will be Sherman Tank Williams and Floyd Seymour.
This is exciting. We are bringing the old and mixing it with the new. We want young kids to know the heritage of boxing and where it comes from. Especially in Grand Bahama, one of the things we want to teach is that pride. We're going to have 2 days of boxing followed by a banquet where we're going to have the award ceremonies and we're going to induct these guys in the Hall of Fames, because I feel like it's about time we induct them, because it's been so long and we don't want to wait till their funeral to go and have something good to say about them.
And finally, in sports, Division II college basketball player Joshua Dames got his second start of the season against Fairmont State in conference play. Dames scored 13 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, and collected 2 steals in a 63-79 loss. And that's your quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
G. Christie. Visit their new office in the Port Lucaya Marketplace. H.G. Christie, celebrating over 100 years of service.
If you're tired of looking the same, yeah, you ain't got to complain, no. You know where to go and you know what to do. You can find it here. We got the best in men's world. Come on, let our friendly stuff help you. Hey, come on and shop. See what Requirements got. Yeah, we got it all for you.
Don't miss the 25% sale at Park & Shop this January 26th, 27th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, excluding underwear and red tag items.
Apostles Tony and Ann Grant and the members and followers of A Call to Holiness Ministries Agape House invites you to Glory Sunday. This Sunday, January 28th at 9 a.m. at the Agape House Glory Dome, number 23 and 24, Pioneers Loop. Come and join us as we receive from heaven concerning 2024. Don't miss Glory Sunday. This Sunday, January 28th at 9 a.m. at the Agape House Glory Dome, number 23 and 24, Pioneers Loop.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Tonight, our Facebook friend is Michelle Forbes-Dames, who celebrates a birthday, as well as Bill Woodman, also celebrating his birthday today. Tonight, we also salute ZNS's matriarch, Mistress Cynthia Donaldson, who celebrates her 89th birthday today. Thanks so much for your continued support, and please continue to enjoy your day. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, bail amendments tabled. U.S. Embassy issues security alert. Businesses muscle up against crime. And in sports, excitement builds for World Relays. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The government making concessions to the police following repeated calls for the law to again be revisited. The Prime Minister today foreshadowed critical changes to the condition and procedure for bail, part and parcel of a new refocused strategy to combat crime. Here's Carla Palmer with the story.
Bold and unflinching is how Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis is describing the government's crime-fighting plan for 2024.
It is grounded in the certain knowledge that the security of our citizens is our #1 responsibility. We recognize that the roots of criminality are deep and tangled. They stem from social, economic, and cultural factors. Our response, therefore, is likewise multifaceted and robust, addressing each of these aspects with the seriousness they deserve.
The 5-point plan is highlighted in 5 pillars, including prevention, policing, prosecution, punishment, and rehabilitation. According to Prime Minister Davis, these areas cover the full cycle of criminal behavior, addressing not only crime itself, but the root causes. In this vein, he addressed a significant amendment to the Bail Act.
Our amendment will ensure that bail is automatically revoked for those accused persons who commit offenses while on bail. This includes those found to be in violation of the terms of their bail, which is an offense under the amendment. This measure sends a clear message. Our legal system will no longer tolerate those who flout its rules and endanger our communities.
The move comes following statistical data indicating that the majority of accused persons released on bail for murder become victims of murder themselves. The nation's chief reiterated other crime measures to include expanding school policing, dismantling gang activity through a policing program entitled Clear, Hold and Build, increasing police presence in communities through saturation patrols, and improved technology through advanced facial recognition, among other initiatives.
Overall, our comprehensive plan is at the heart of a bold determination by my government to combat the scourge of crime which has long plagued our society.
Prime Minister Davis also called on the opposition to unite with the government in the crime-fighting effort and refrain from partisan politics. Likewise, he requested the continued support of the public. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, Opposition Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard pledged his party's commitment to helping the government solve the crime fight during Wednesday's House proceedings. In doing so, he listed some of the recommendations his party suggested to the government in March 2022, like a gun amnesty and reward program, properly funded employment and skills training for 17 to 35-year-olds, a safe and healthy environment for individual and group activities, and mandatory volunteerism for high school students, among others.
We will continue, Madam Speaker, to speak truth to power. And Madam Speaker, whenever we discover if there's something amiss, something we interpreted, Madam Speaker, we will make amends. We are prepared to work with all stakeholders, but we will not retreat, Madam Speaker, in standing up for the Bahamian people.
Still on, the opposition has promised the F&M and some of its supporters staging a brief demonstration in Rawson Square this morning. Corval Pyfrom reports that while today's protests may not have drawn large crowds, it did attract attention.
These F&M supporters who joined the small and quiet demonstration in Rawson Square this morning say for them this was not about politics. Mavis Vanderpool is a 66-year-old Elizabeth Estates resident. She came because she refuses to live in fear.
And we must not be afraid. We must step forward and try all that we can do to prevent crime in this country.
The group expressing frustration at what it sees as the government's inaction to deal with crime. Many believe the government lacks compassion.
I think they're very, very slow, very, very poor, and for that I give them an F this morning on crime in this country, sir.
And we expect for them to care about the young men and women, because I said women, because we see an increase of women and children being affected by gunshots and by violence in this country.
I've lived here all my life. I have nowhere else to go. And I'm saddened today how the government is not taking this serious, the crime that is happening in this country.
Not to be lost in any of this is that this crime crisis has real consequences. Stella Gray is still haunted by the recent shooting death of her 16-year-old granddaughter in Nassau Village. It came just 2 years after Gray's son had been fatally gunned down. She's out here today appealing for justice and for help. Gray's granddaughter, Davanique Gray, was killed back on January 6. Since then, no one has been arrested for her murder.
Her father was gunned down in Monday 2 years ago. Now she's gunned down. I know right now there's no answer coming to me but that. No one been charged. The mother being locked up. We still ain't get no reveal, no passion, nothing.
F&M leader Michael Pintard again calling on the Davis administration to show some urgency and resolve to deal with the growing crisis.
And what we are not seeing is immediate steps that need to be taken. We have a chance to stop this. Do not despair. And we will keep the pressure on the government and we'll do our part.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Now, National Security Minister, the Honourable Wayne Munro, meantime ensuring that the government is doing all it can to stop the violence nationwide, especially in supplying the Royal Bahamas Police Force with all the resources it needs. However, he lamented in the House of Assembly today on the impact social media has placed on crime. He referenced a video of Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister, the Honourable Keith Rowley, announcing more soldiers on the streets of that twin island nation to fight the problem, and the mounting public requests he's received for the Davis administration to follow suit. Well, Munro clarified during the second reading of the Ombudsman bill that that's already happening here, with Defence Force officers accompanying the police during patrols.
In these operations that happen, up to 50 of them are at a time, are committed to these saturation patrols that people doubt are happening. I don't know why they doubt it, because that's a form of negating the efforts of the police and the Defense Force. But they are concerned, as I suppose the people who complain to an ombudsman would be concerned, that these things are happening and their contribution to the safety and security of this country are being undermined by persons calling into question their good and meritorious service in difficult circumstances.
Now, following the tabling of proposed changes to the Bail Act, locals shared varied responses to what's on the table.
I think the decision made by Parliament today was a grave mistake. Constitutionally, that affects each and every one of us. And I believe that the innocent are going to be caught up in what they believe is going to be a salvation to our problem.
Things happen in some ways, whereas, you know, like it might be a situation where the guy protect himself or whatever, and he might be in the wrong place, wrong time.
You live by the sword, you should die by the sword. I think they need to bring the hanging back.
If you could take the life of another person, then you basically omit yours.
Once you are charged with murder and go to prison, and you come out and commit murder again, then your bail should be revoked.
We're willing to try different solutions rather than just doing the same regular status quo, so I think it'd be a good idea to try something and see how it works.
Still to come, Bamboo Boulevard shooting, plus our feature story of the night, replenishing Peggy's pantry after a final weather look. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
ESE Distributors, the #1 wholesale beauty supplier in the Bahamas, specializing in hair products, accessories, and makeup. A variety of skin lightening products, Keratin, Natural Bright, Paw Paw, and personal toiletries. like soaps, creams, lotion, and oils. Hair products like Got2b, Red One, and everything in the Morphos line. And lots of hair. Afro Kinky, 3X Ghana, crochet hair. We deliver and ship to the Family Islands. ESC Distributors, located on Soldier Road opposite NCA.
When we started Stormframe Windows in 1999, we wanted to fabricate an impact-rated product to compete with the Florida market, and we've done this. There's no fabricator or vendor from Florida that can do what we can in the Bahamas. Because we fabricate locally and we're a local-based company, we have the capability to provide better customer service than our competitors. With all the worldwide supply chain issues, we at Stormframe have improved our fabrication process and have invested in stock to be able to produce our orders in 4 weeks. We also keep in stock over 400 windows and doors at standard sizes for walk-in customers to purchase. Our professional sales staff is here to assist you with the complete purchase and installation. We also service and ship to the out islands.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
A man fighting for his life in hospital following a shooting at the on-the-run service station at the intersection of Bamboo Boulevard and East Street South. Eyewitness reports are that around 7:30 p.m., a lone gunman walked onto the property and fired a single shot in the face of a pump attendant, wounding him. According to police, the man was taken to hospital where he remains in serious condition. Owner of the service station, Paul Hepburn, provided this update.
From what I understand, he was able to speak, he was able to stand, and he complained of a headache. The bullet passed through him, and he was able to still communicate, but he had no idea what happened to him, and he was kind of disoriented. All right, but they put him in an ambulance. And it's a lot of blood.
Hepburn also explaining that counseling for staffers is planned.
We're going to talk to them. We're going to have counseling for those of us on board, on the staff. But right now, we haven't done any of that because we've been doing investigating. We've been looking at the cameras. We've been looking at and trying to question other people as to what happened, when it happened, and just basically fact-finding at this point.
Well, shootings almost a daily occurrence here in the capital, but what we haven't heard much of are those stories of crimes against businesses and the impact. Today, our news team spoke with the new Chamber of Commerce head on the issue. The statistics we're without. The same to be said about the actual incidents, the targets were the culprits. But that by no means negate the fact that high on the radar of crafty criminals are businesses, those countless brick-and-mortar establishments that are left to muscle up and adopt significant measures to protect themselves, employees, and their livelihoods.
We see members installing passive security systems, such as more cameras. A lot of crime nowadays you see is actually caught on camera from somewhere. We're seeing security systems, alarm systems being installed, the employment of more security guards to protect premises. We're seeing guard dogs and other types of security measures being employed. But we're also seeing some businesses looking at their hours of operation. They don't want their staff walking out after dark, and so they might be inclined to try and get everyone out the door before it gets dark because of that. So this all obviously comes at a cost to the business, and so some businesses may have to pass these costs on, some it may be able to absorb it for a while.
That's newly minted Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation Chair Timothy Ingram, who says luckily the organization hasn't received reports of any of its members having to close up shop or is on the brink of it. But he admits this doesn't mean it hasn't happened. Now, while the business exec accepts that reducing the amount of cash a business handles would be the ideal solution, he counters that doing so comes at a cost.
A lot of Bahamians are simply not there yet where they're ready to dispense of their cash and go to other means of payment. And it's not a cheap way for businesses to go when you look at the fees which are charged by most credit card companies, etc. This really can cut into the revenue of a business. And so that then means what they need to do is possibly look at increasing their prices to cover those fees. We're hopeful we see some things like Sand Dollar, which holds promise for businesses to be able to reduce their costs by going cashless. And so we're hoping that things like that will catch on.
Ingram is a featured speaker at the 33rd Bahamas Business Outlook. Thursday's BBO takes place at the Bahama Resort Cable Beach. Bringing the keynote address is Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis. Well, truth be told, the troubling complexities of crime and possible solutions to it, a head hurter for not just local authorities, but based on statistics, many throughout the Caribbean. Our Lloyd Allen tonight takes an in-depth look at the numbers and what's being done.
Well, good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. As the Bahamas has already recorded a whopping 17 homicides up to January 21st, 2024, the epidemic also impacting major countries in the region. Now, according to TTT Live Online, an explosion ushered in the new year in Trinidad, with the country recording its first murder reported around 7 a.m. January 1st, when a 41-year-old resident of Belmont was shot multiple times. A quick response from police resulted in the suspect apprehended within hours. Also in Tobago, just 131 miles from Trinidad, the first murder for the year also recorded on January 1st in Patient Hill at a bus stop. Police say 2 men were sitting there when a passing vehicle opened fire, wounding one of the men and killing the other at the scene. With a 1.53 million population, Trinidad and Tobago has also reported a 5% reduction in murders in 2023 compared to the previous year. Data published by Statista, an online statistics catalog, shows a steady increase in Trinidad and Tobago crime since 2014, with an exception during the pandemic. Its government also introducing a number of measures, including increased police patrols, community involvement, detailed investigations, and dismantling transnational crimes, along with regional and local drug trafficking organizations. Trinidad and Tobago's homicide count for the year is 33. Now, in Jamaica, with a population of 2.83 million, a recent killing was allegedly committed by a public official. Former People's National Party Member of Parliament, Julian Silvera, was reportedly arrested for the murder of his wife, Melissa. The incident happened at the couple's home in Stone Hill, St. Andrews, last November, with Silvera charged just last week, Friday. Labeled as the Caribbean's most violent country in 2022, Jamaica has also a total murder count for the year of 46. Prime Minister the Honorable Andrew Holness, during his New Year message, noted, quote, since Jamaica passed the 1,000 murder mark in 1997, it has remained above that for 23 years, at 3 times the regional average. He went on to say, quote, my administration will focus on reducing violence, building our social emotional intelligence and human capital, strengthening our families, and promoting peace in our land, end quote. Over in Barbados, with a population of 281,000, its first homicide reported January 3rd when a man shot by an assailant in a passing vehicle in 4 roads in Phillip. The Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation reported a 6% crime increase last year. Overall, its crime stats, particularly murders, have fluctuated since 2010. Today, the United States issuing a Level 3 travel advisory to the country, asking travelers to reconsider visiting at this time. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. As you just heard, the country's troubling uptick in serious crimes prompting U.S. Embassy officials here in Nassau to issue a security alert for its residents. In it, Americans are warned to be aware that a spate of murders have occurred in Nassau since the year began and at all hours, including in broad daylight. The Americans contend retaliatory gang violence has been the primary motive in this year's killings. Americans are encouraged to exercise extreme caution in eastern New Providence when walking walking or driving at night, to keep a low profile, monitor surroundings, to not resist a robbery attempt, and to review personal security plans. The Prime Minister responded to the U.S.'s latest security advisory while exiting the House of Assembly this afternoon.
It's up to they have the right to warn their citizens about what they perceive to be their life, and that's their right. We don't think that tourists are being impacted by the challenges we're having in our crime issue today, but that is their right to do what they did. I don't think they'll have that kind of impact on our tourism product.
Nelson Ann's member Adrian White also reacting to the U.S. crime security alert, noting that the country finds itself in a crisis of murder. While White acknowledged both the government and opposition have presented crime strategies, he urged that the alert not be downplayed.
This government cannot downplay the severity of the situation that we're in, and it is highlighted now this morning by this U.S. advisory to its citizens. This should be an advisory that our Bahamian citizens should also receive. But let me tell you, I, as a member of Parliament, I don't live in a gated community. I don't have 24-hour armed security. I don't ride around with somebody that's carrying a gun on them. I take my protection extremely seriously.
Following that decision by the U.S. government to issue a Level 2 travel advisory to the Bahamas, Bahamians sharing mixed reviews on its impact on the country.
It's a bad thing, but I don't think it should affect the Bahamas that much, because normally all civilized country does that to protect their citizens.
But it's a bad thing because, you know, right now we have about 6 cruise ships coming in daily. And then you're gonna have people like, oh, look at our family. That's our best interest. We shouldn't travel to this Caribbean island because the crime rate is so high.
It's a bad thing, of course. That's what I feel. But you know, America's gonna do what they're gonna do in their best interest. So we can't stop them from doing what they want to do.
It is what it is. You know, because if they have a little uproar in the United States, our government going to tell the same folks here, if they're traveling, be careful for this or be careful for that.
A local organization walking the streets of Yellow Elder tonight to stop the violence. Lloyd Allen joins us live with the details. Good evening, Lloyd.
Well, of course, good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. Right now, we're in the Yellow Elder community where a local organization is doing its part to reduce crime. Standing here with us is Mandel Miller. He's a part of the organization Each One, Reach One. Mandel, of course, it's been a busy 2024. What are you doing to help in this community?
Well, the whole idea about Each One, Reach One and this particular initiative that we're doing is to take salvation into the community and to lift up the name of Jesus in our communities, pray for residents, understanding that the violence seems to be reaping havoc. And we feel that if we turn up the volume on salvation throughout our communities, that some of this we can stem the tide of some of this violence in our community. And so I thought it necessary to partner with the community and the local churches that surround the community. Hence, you have Pastor Higgins, Pastor Nathan Bells. I have my aunt, Pastor Ann Moss, is here supporting us. And so just partnering with the church and the community, trying to ensure that we strengthen that relationship. We believe that salvation is the greatest transformative tool that we can use as a people to fix what we're experiencing in our country and in the hearts of our young people. Trying to reach them, those that are involved in a life of criminality and violence, is not going to be an easy task. And we believe that the Holy Spirit can indeed do that work for us. Isaiah 60:18 says, crime and violence will be no more in our land when the gates of our city become that of salvation and praise. And so we here believe that we are the gates and we are the walls, and that if salvation is evident in our lives and we can be an example to others of what the value of salvation is, that transformative power can resonate and heal our country.
Well, of course, also here tonight in support of the government is the Member of Parliament for the area, Mikhail Barnaby. Of course, an important initiative, Each One, Reach One. What do you say to this positive move forward?
Well, we need more initiatives like this throughout the country. Obviously, as you said, January has been a very busy year for us. No matter the fact that we may have more trucks on the road and saturation patrols, I think we have to exercise a very important word, which is the F word, which is forgiveness. And if we can focus on forgiveness and focus less on retaliation, I believe that we'll see a significant decrease in what we're experiencing now.
Well, of course, Makusha, this group is supported by a number of persons out here tonight with one purpose, fighting crime. So, guys, on the count of 3, Each One, Reach One. 1, 2, 3.
Each One, Reach One.
Reporting from the Yellow Water community for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla, back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, the World Relay is just around the corner. Tickets are already going on sale and going fast. Make sure you get yours. That's details just ahead in sports.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Experience the magic of paradise in Acklins and Cricket Island. These islands remain almost as natural today as they were hundreds of years ago. Splash and cruise through the shallows to explore this one-stop haven for boating, bone fishing, snorkeling, and diving. Or better yet, explore Thompson's Blue Hole. Or learn about the rich history of our ancestors at Portland's Plantation. From the sea to your plate, Acklins and Cricket Island offers an array of authentic Bahamian delicacies fit for a king. And what better way to end your day than with nature's healing gift of freshly brewed bush medicine? Looking for an authentic island getaway? Visit Acklins and Cricket Island today. For more information about these islands, visit bahamasgeotourism.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
SHSS Electrical has relocated. You can now find them on Chesapeake Road in the former Minute Muffler building. There, you can pick up square D switches, combos, breakers, and breaker panels, plus all the electrical wires you need. Want meter cans, LED bulbs, and ceiling fans? You can find it all at SHSS Electrical.
Need a DNA test to find out if someone is your father, your child, or your grandparent? Call DNA Direct at 324-0665. Get a DNA test for as low as $450. Now you can prove that you are or are not related to an individual easily. Call DNA Direct 324-0665.
Don't let your home or business be in the dark. When there's a blackout, it's time to purchase the new EcoFlow portable generator. This powerful device gives you hours of uninterrupted electricity for your fans, refrigerator, television, and air conditioning units. Dial 327-4504 and see how affordable your EcoFlow portable generator is.
Know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Continuing with our college-bound series, tonight our Lloyd Allen further explores the college experience and how a visit to a prospective school can make or even break one's college experience.
Well, of course, good evening, Makusha, and good evening, Bahamas. If you're in the process of applying for college, one of those overlooked steps is that of a pre-assessment of your future tertiary campus. College readiness coach Erica Morris suggests this decision can make all the difference.
Going on the college campus to see how the colleges are, to see the size of the college, to see what city you're in, to see how you interact with the city. You get to speak with the professors, you get to see the class sizes, all of that.
In the business for the past 10 years, Morris has over time amended her immersion program, now designed to offer targeted tours specific to a student's area of study.
The tours that I'm doing that's coming up in the latter part of February is a trip to Grenada to the medical school, St. George's University. It's like a U.S. medical school in the Caribbean. And you have a lot of students that always say, oh, I want to be a doctor or whatever, but when you take them on these tours and they actually go into the lab and there are like 38 cadavers laying around, sometimes that kind of makes or breaks them.
With many parents also anxious about the transition, Morris adds it's essential to find a college and career consultant that works best for you or your child, even if the plan is not to go to college straight after high school.
Get a college counselor to help you and to guide you through, to give you a guided tour into the college readiness process. It may not be me. We have several others. I'm a big advocate for gap years, gap semesters. I work with schools that actually give gap years and gap semesters. I do college tours. I do a lot of the family islands. I focus a lot on the family islands because I would like for them to get the same opportunities that kids in Nassau gets.
And with so many families in need of financial assistance and many colleges in search of quality students, Morris provided this detail, which could help both entities achieve their end goal.
In one of the schools that I've partnered with, we are going to be giving away $10,000 to one lucky student, and that's Middle Tennessee State. Okay, so your school should have given you that information.
Makushla, next in this College Bound series, a look at another college readiness program which seeks to develop the whole child and opens the door to becoming a part of America's historically black college or university family. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
It's no secret roadworks require a massive amount of effort, but even before that work can get started, there's a multi-layered process that has to take place. Tonight, our Anthony Smith takes a behind-the-scene look at the process and the person behind it all.
This temperature here is actually coming down.
At daybreak on the island of Exuma, this piece of heavy machinery begins to blow. Behind the board that controls it all, young Bahamian Terrell Murray. His commands controlling the temperature, the ratio of materials, and ultimately the output at the Bahamas Striping Group asphalt plant.
Plenty prepping, plenty early mornings, plenty late evenings.
He's the assistant manager on site, rising through the ranks after learning the tricks of the trade. His work essential in ensuring the pavers working out on the roads are ready for the task in hand.
You have to get in before everybody to make sure we're all prepared. We actually put 25 tons on each of our trucks because we don't want to kill our trucks out. But some days we knock out 25 trucks, or some days it's like 30-something odd trucks. We actually did like 40-something odd trucks before in one day.
He's one of several Bahamians in the company learning a skill considered undersubscribed. While industry experts had temporarily assumed the role, like the others, he's learning how to one day take it all on.
Here you have a young Bahamian, never had the experience of running a $1.5 million piece of equipment that can actually run it. And that's what we're talking about, transfer of skills. As a company, we know Bahamas is small. We do not have all the technical individuals we need, so you bring them in. But what's important for us as a company is that to ensure that it's not just words that you transfer in skills, it must be guaranteed.
Now more than just a job for Terrell, but a passion.
it's just like something out the box, you know. It's quite different and very interesting. It has a lot of electrical components. You have to know something about heavy equipment, plumbing. It's just a lot of different stuff, you know, and you get to put all that together.
For a finished product controlled by hand, crafted by fire, and paved in stone. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith.
The Theta Epsilon Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta sorority incorporated dishing out 100 pink and blue care packages and other necessities for expectant mothers and their premature babies at the Fleming Street Clinic. It's all part of the Stork's Nest program, an initiative recognized by the sorority worldwide. And on this chapter day, the local chapter decided to make baby steps before officially introducing the program locally. The sorority's first Vice President Clementra McCoy and co-chair Manisha Burrows on the program's significance.
We are endeavoring to have this initiative every few months, where in the community we're going to dub this as our community baby shower. This is a new initiative, and we are happy that our charter member is here to actually witness the start of this particular event. Sister Lewis, whenever your team needs us, please feel free to call.
Fleming Street Clinic Sister Monique Lewis says these care packages will go a long way in assisting mothers in need.
We just want to say thank you for considering Fleming Street Clinic. We do have individuals who have needs, and we are grateful that you, as a part of our community, are reaching out to us to help our clients.
All right, here we are 2 weeks later. Last time we met, same place, looking at who was going to get, at the end of the day, to be in Super Bowl 58. Well, guess what? A lot of slow singing and flower bringing since then, because a lot of those teams are long gone. For example, the Miami Dolphins, a lot of you had them going all the way to the end of the day. And guess what? They're out of the picture. Tua went bye-bye. Looking at the Eagles now. Eagles fly, Eagles fly. Guess what? They're flying out of the playoffs. They're already done. That leaves us with just a few teams left in the market. We're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, of course, the Detroit Lions, and the San Francisco 49ers. So your guess comes down to 4 teams. Unless you're a diehard, still believe the Miami Dolphins somehow are going to be miraculously reborn and then back in the playoffs. Not going to happen. Of course, it's all about, as the Dolphins normally say, next year. All right, so let's get it all ready to go, and we are ready for our final 4 picks. Again, you can make your vote at our Facebook page and also on Twitter. Let's see, with only 4 teams left, who's going to get it right. Put your votes in today. See you soon.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
In the yellow elder garden, Allie and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights, a symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the yellow elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Allie dances in her yellow elder costume. We are alive.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
By now, many of us have taken down the holiday decorations, the Christmas tree, and the likes. But for motorists in the area of Bay Street, industrial floodlights used during Junkanoo have become quite a nuisance, and a dangerous one at that. Once the sun sets, the glaring lights pose a serious challenge. Culture Minister, the Honorable Mario Bullock, says there's a reason the lights remain, but assures concerns will be addressed.
Those lights were put up by our partners, which is BPL, to ensure that people see a beautiful parade. Normally you see these bleachers are still here and everything is still being left in place for Junior Junkanoo. Just a matter of reminding them to move it, but I haven't got any calls that there were some complaints, but now that you brought it to our attention, of course, you got to take care of the payment people to make sure that they are moving in a timely manner.
The North Caicos Stars, a 9-member group from the Turks and Caicos Islands in the Bahamas this week to participate in the Junior Junkanoo Parade, which kicks off in the Boulevard tomorrow. It's the first time the group, ages 14 through 16, has visited the Bahamas and hopes to take the experience under the mentorship of Quentin Barabbas Woodside back to the Turks and Caicos to enhance their Junkanoo Christmas Parade. Today, the group paid a courtesy call on TCI Diaspora Office Manager Verne Mills and revealed that they're about 75% ready for the big dance on Bay.
The whole group is excited because this is all of our first time experiencing to actually play with the drums. Some of us have watched the Bay Street thing, but now we're playing with it, so it's a different experience.
When we do this tomorrow, I hope that all my band members can play well and that we can learn something from this and take this back to where we're from.
We spend the day at Junkanoo World. That's another world. The experience, the music, the culture, the history is just so rich, and I love when they stepped in there, wow. I was like, they get it. They get it. And, you know, looking at all of the fascinating pieces, they were thinking, okay, we could do this, we could do that.
And Junkanoo will become a mandatory part of the public school curriculum, so says Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, who today confirmed that education officials are developing a blueprint to incorporate Junkanoo at the primary and secondary levels.
Every child will have the opportunity to not only learn the significance of the history of Junkanoo, but their own history, and will come to learn the innovative craft and musicology and rhythms of this incredible art form called Junkanoo.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
For the next 50 days, 50 lucky winners will be getting $30,000 in cash and prizes.
$30,000?
30. How you win? All you have to do is purchase $25 or more in fuel or a $25 and up Rubis gift card, and you enter to win. Take a photo of your receipt, and you can upload it via our QR code, Rubis Bahamas Facebook page, or our website. Don't forget, you need your receipt in order to win. Thank you. $500 on the Visa card, I'll buy everything, but I gotta turn my light on. I need gas in my car, and I done miss and put diesel in here, and the car say, "Bop."
Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville assuring that everything is under control at the Defense Force base on Inagua. This following reports that some Marines there had tested positive for COVID-19. Dr. Darville today explaining that at least 11 people were suspected of having COVID, and as a precautionary measure, immediate steps were taken.
This morning, we had some kits went down to Inagua for RT-PCR testing to determine whether or not they were truly positive, because the circumstances are, if you're vaccinated, you definitely will produce antigens. And so if you use a rapid antigen test, you will pick up antigens, but that doesn't mean that you have acute infection.
The health minister using the opportunity to again urge the public to continue practicing respiratory etiquette. However, he assures that the situation on Inagua is nothing to be concerned about.
I want to let the general public know that we are very vigilant in our surveillance for COVID. We are vigilant in our surveillance for other infectious diseases, and we will continue. And we will definitely not put the general population at risk.
Two proposals for the North Abaco Port, but Minister of Energy and Transport, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, says no final decisions have been made. The RFP process has concluded, but she says her ministry is seeking guidance from the Office of the Prime Minister to assure the right decisions are made to the benefit of Abaconians. The government has been looking at a potential $100 million investment to transform the Marsh Harbour and Cooperstown ports into state-of-the-art facilities.
I can say that Marsh Harbour, we just agreed a partnership with the U.S. Embassy to support upgrades to security systems and security plans out there. And so we would be in partnership as the ministry to upgrade it as best as we can to make sure that we're in the right security protocols for when audit time comes. And we will be looking to further review the proposals that we got for that port so that we could advance it and proceed.
Colby Davis admits the process is taking some time because considerations must be made to the financial model the proposal recommends and other factors.
We also have to make sure we consider the island and the economic structure and make sure that whatever is decided is a benefit to the community. And so it's something that we are constantly discussing. It hasn't been ignored, but we want to make sure that the right decisions are made to support the community as well.
Oh, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We have partly cloudy skies, temperature at 75 degrees, the relative humidity at 82%, easterly winds at 16 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,022.8 millibars, that is 30.20 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Turtle Key, and Marsh Harbour, because 75 also in the Berry Islands. Allenstown, Bimini, 77, 75 in Harbour Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 74 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 76, 77s in Kemps, Bayside Andros, and Black Point, Exuma. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 75, 76 in Georgetown, Exuma. Some more 75s in Rygat Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, McGorn, and Ackland is also at 75 degrees. Matthew Tiny, Nagua, 79, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight through tomorrow, those winds are going to be southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags remain in place. Low tide, that will take place at 1:06 in the morning. You can expect a high tide at 7:31 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands, the wind southeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So we'll also keep caution flags in place for the central and southeastern islands through Thursday. And then on Friday, a further reduction in those winds. The winds become southeast at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. So we'll drop those caution flags for the northwest Bahamas. Your high tide on Friday, 8:10 in the morning, the low tide at 2:38 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, the winds are going to be southeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So once again, we'll hold those caution flags for the central and southeastern islands on Friday. It's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
The ZNS Network and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture presents the Anthony Huck Williams 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade. Live from Pioneers Way on January 27th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. on the ZNS Network.
Jump into January and save with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, 2 for $5. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Country Barn mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.75. Boneless chicken breasts, $2.99 per pound. Romaine hearts, 3-pack, $4.99. Another year to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Well, the Bahamas is now set to host the return of the World Relays May 4th through 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. With so many different countries set to participate, local organizing committee CEO Jamiko Archer warning local track fans to not wait till the last minute to secure their seats.
If you want to come to the World Relays, buy your tickets as soon as they go on sale. This will not be like Junkanoo. Everyone wants to come to the World Relays. And my priority, one of my pets of the games is to really inspire young athletes and young schools. And so the Eastern Grandstand, we want to make that the fan zone for public and private school kids. And so we intend to really make this a magical experience, not only for the Bahamas at large, but we want to be able to inspire young athletes and young students to be able to grow our fan base and to grow the sport.
Now, Archer adding that the relays will draw the attention of the world as the nations will be looking to qualify for Paris 2024.
This is the only qualifying event that qualifies teams to run relays at the Olympic Games. And so the top 14 athletes of the 16 total complement of athletes or teams will be chosen out of these games. And I think that is going to make this extra special because it will really just be a foretaste of what we should be seeing in Paris on the global stage.
GSSSA hoops action yesterday. Anatole Rogers taking on R.M. Bailey. They played over at the Kendall Isaacs gym. A bit lopsided in the favor of the Timberwolves. Pace is really struggling to get anything going. Timberwolves swarming on defensive end. At the end of the day, an easy win for Anatole. They cruise 87-46 behind 27 points from Jasmine Rock. He was the leading scorer in the ballgame. Head coach Danico Bowles talking about the win.
I think it was a good 4 quarters put together by my guys. We wanted to come out and focus.
on our execution. The execution on the offensive end and the execution on the defensive end. I think from Jump Street we came out and did a fairly good job. So I definitely think that, once we continue to work, continue to tighten up, I think the sky's the limit for the team this year.
Now, undefeated so far in the season, Bowles says the team's record a testimony to a lot of hard work.
But like I say, from day one, it's just been hard work. Hard work, a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours. But now as we winding down now to the end of the season, we just want to make sure that we key in on certain details on offense, key in on certain details on defense, and to give ourselves a really good chance, coming off, actually headed into the playoffs.
Bahamian A.J. Storr and his 13th ranked Wisconsin Badgers playing the Minnesota Gophers. Storr with another solid outing. He scored 15 points to go along with 12 rebounds. Badgers pick up the win in a close one, 61-59. They improved to 15-4 in the season, 7-1 in conference play. And the Bahamas Archery Federation holding its nationals recently. A total of 5 clubs participating in the various categories. Defending champion Laron Roll of Trinity Flames Archery took first place in the compound division. Dario Higgs took the title in both the 50 and 70 meters recurve. Michael Brennan and Eric Newbold Jr. and Aaron Brown also winners in the recurve division. The barebow division winners were Bernard Almira, as well as Leah Munker and Lisa Rowe. Shy Higgs and Aaron Brown winners in the Genesis 18 division, and in the 4 to 6 age category, that was won by Martian Cooper, with Shy Higgs taking the crown in the 79 and Jamal Martin in the 10 to 12. And there it is, your check on sports for you here on this Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. We do have that Wednesday weather outlook just around the corner.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Resolve to save with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs, 15-ounce, $169. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 2 for $149. First choice sugar, 4 pounds, $269. Danish spare ribs, $2.89 per pound. Fresh carrots, 2-pound bag, $2.99. Another year to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at whether that area of high pressure across the islands is collapsing, and that will lead to a reduction in the winds over the next several days. Also, warmer temperatures can be expected, and that will pave the way for the arrival of a frontal system, which we expect to get into the northwest Bahamas late on Sunday night, early Monday morning, and that will bring with it a nice cool down. You can see on our satellite picture, frontal boundary still very much to the west over the Gulf of Mexico, but as we go to our graphic match, this is where that frontal boundary will be sometime tomorrow, which is Thursday, but by Sunday it's going to make its way into the northwest Bahamas. Chilly temperatures are on the way once that frontal system gets through. So we're looking at Monday and Tuesday, also on Wednesday, where temperatures will even get down into the upper 50s here in the capital. So you could imagine around Grand Bahama and Abaco, they will see some low 50s. And your forecast for tonight is going to shape up like this: breezy conditions. Otherwise, it's going to turn partly cloudy and a bit warmer. The low temperature tonight, 72 degrees. Tomorrow, pleasant with lots of sunshine, and then turning breezy again in the afternoon. High temperature hovering around 80 degrees, and your extended weather forecast looking like this. Sunshine going to be with us during the daytime for the next several days. As we said, that frontal boundary comes in on Monday morning, and we will see those temperatures: 64 degrees on Monday, 62 on Tuesday, 59 degrees on Wednesday up next week. So you start to get those warm clothes prepared for that nice cool down, which we anticipate will take place early next week. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. And before we leave, head girl of Royal Kids Primary, 11-year-old Christina Dean, donating a snack pantry to the more than 20 residents of the Ranfley Home for Children. The young humanitarian says feeding others is a dream realized. She went on to speak of plans to replenish Peggy's pantry, named after her great-grandmother, Peggy, once a month.
I wanted to do it because I love eating snacks, and I know most kids do, and I wanted to give the experience for everyone to eat snacks whenever they want.
I am so proud of Christina. She wants to be a chef, and she loves to cook, and she loves to help people. She is my gardener. She helps me in my garden, so I know she'll do well.
An excited Ranfully Home Administrator, Ingrid DeVoe, says Peggy's Pantry will be closely monitored to ensure every resident gets a snack or two regularly.
The children, they go through snacks like water, and so I'm certain when they become aware of what's happening here, they'll also be excited about the initiative.
And that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.